His return was meant to be triumphant, but he never quite made it off the tarmac. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif left Heathrow Airport in London to much fanfare. He was en route to Pakistan to challenge the country's current leader, President Pervez Musharraf, in upcoming elections. But moments after landing in Islamabad, he was charged for his alleged involvement in a money-laundering scheme, and then he was ejected from the country. Farooq Hasnat is with the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C., and we reached him in Columbia, Maryland.
Mr. Hasnat, why do you think President Musharraf expelled Nawaz Sharif from Pakistan today?
He expelled the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, in violation of the Supreme Court orders, because the Supreme Court orders were very specific, saying that Nawaz Sharif has an inalienable right to, as a citizen of Pakistan, to be in Pakistan whenever he wants to come, and he can only leave when he desires so. This is in violation of the Supreme Court order, which means that this will amount to contempt of court. And also this will amount to kidnapping, which is a criminal offense. The reason why he did is that his elections are very near. It has to be between 15th of September and 15th of October, just 1 month for him to be elected in uniform. And he is scared because if Nawaz Sharif is around, he might be able to play his role and convince some of the members in the ruling party to join his party, and so there might not be enough votes for Musharraf to get elected.
But how much of a political threat does Nawaz Sharif actually represent?
Well, Nawaz Sharif does have a vote bank, which is not much. I wouldn't say as much as Benazir Bhutto. But what happened recently was that when Benazir Bhutto started to talk to General Musharraf regarding a deal, which basically was not on the issues but was on personal benefits, which of both of them, mutual personal benefits. So her graph really went down. And with that, Nawaz Sharif's graph really went up because people saw him as a person who is resisting military dictatorship in Pakistan, and the people also saw in him a person who can really drive them closer to any democratic setup in the future. And we have to remember one thing, that Nawaz Sharif is not alone. There's an alliance of political parties stretching from religious parties to secular nationalist parties. So in that umbrella, Nawaz Sharif does enjoy a reasonable influence.
But could he really have rallied the crowds and the throngs today in his drive from Islamabad to Lahore that many people cite as something that President Musharraf was afraid that he might be able to do? Do you think those numbers would have turned out for Nawaz Sharif?
I would say the numbers would have been reasonably big. I don't think so they would have been as big as when the Chief Justice was able to attract those numbers. But still, there would have been enough numbers to put a lot of pressure on the Punjab government and also General Musharraf's government, because basically General Musharraf does not enjoy any public or popular support. He's there just because of his uniform, and he's there because the army is behind him.
Do you think by expelling him today that President Musharraf has actually raised the political stakes for Nawaz Sharif, made him a kind of heroic symbol of sorts?
Oh, definitely. Nawaz Sharif is now seen as a symbol of resistance against the dictatorial regime of General Musharraf. He is also seen by the people as a Pakistani nationalist, and people are extremely upset that a citizen of a country cannot be handed over to a foreign country in the manner in which the Musharraf government did. It's also reflected that it was also a violation of the judicial order, and people do recognize that Nawaz Sharif decided to come to Pakistan after the decision of the Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court gave him all clear, that was the time when he decided that he should visit Pakistan.
Then, when he was Prime Minister, Nawaz Sharif was never noted for being a great champion of civil society. He was not noted for that kind of leadership. I'm wondering, how is it that he has now become kind of a poster boy of democracy in Pakistan?
Actually, the question is not of personalities. The question here is of a process, that a political process must go on, that the process of elections and the process of allowing the political parties to operate in a free atmosphere should go on. Because the reason why there's not much political democratic culture in Pakistan is because democratic forces have not been given enough chance to operate. Out of 60 years of Pakistan independence, 32 years have been occupied by the dictatorial military regimes, which gave little chance to the political parties to really mature themselves and also to mature political representative culture within the Pakistani society. And people also realized that Nawaz Sharif's government was not perfect, and even Benazir's government was not perfect, but at least a process was going on. And this is what the people desire, that the political process should continue and the military dictatorship should end.
Is it your sense that what this is creating in Pakistan is political excitement, or is it a sense of political fear?
Actually, people are fed up with the military regime. They're highly inefficient, they're highly corrupt, and also as far as their own professionalism is concerned, they have really undermined their professional abilities by interfering time and again in the politics of Pakistan, which is demonstrated right now. Right now, nearly 300 of Pakistani soldiers and officers are in the custody of tribals in the frontier region of Pakistan. And even after 10 days, they have been unable to get them released. And so we see that they are doing very bad as far as even military operations are concerned on the borders of Afghanistan. Last year they had, and the year before last, they had 1,000 casualties and many more injured. This year, within 2 weeks, about 300 of them have been killed. And now we have another situation where 300 have been captured along with their 17 trucks and their arms and ammunition, which gives a clear indication that even in their own profession, which is to defend their country on the borders and to fight terrorism or terrorist groups, they have failed to perform that. So actually what people want is that they should go back to their professional duties and look after the security of Pakistan.
Is your sense that Mr. Sharif will again attempt to enter Pakistan?
Definitely, it seems that tomorrow a petition will be filed with the Supreme Court charging Musharraf downwards of kidnapping, which is a criminal offense, and also of other charges of keeping him in wrongful confinement because he was made to stay in the aircraft for more than 2 hours. And with that, the attorneys are also going to demand that Nawaz Sharif should be called in the court, meaning that he should come back to Pakistan and explain his position. So we have to really see what happens tomorrow with the petition and how the Supreme Court decides.
Very interesting political times in Pakistan, aren't they?
Very interesting.
Mr. Hasnat, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Farooq Hasnat is with the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C.